We are ready to make the caramel sauce. I have 200 grams of sugar, 100 grams of butter, half a cup of fresh cream and half a teaspoon of salt. I am going to switch on my stove, go to medium flame and add my sugar all together, and I am not going to add any water to it. I am going to let the sugar melt from the heat, and it needs to caramelize, and after which we will be adding the cream first and then the butter. So this is going to take some time, but you need to be very careful. I have my whisk, but I am not going to use it now. You use a whisk or a spoon now to just stir them. It is going to crystallize the sugar. So we will just wait until the sugar is going to take up the heat and melt, and you can just lift your saucepan off the heat and give it a shake and then put it back on the fire, just in case you feel the sugar is going to burn. So you don't want the sugar to also burn. The burnt flavor is not so great on the caramel, but you just want it at the right shade, so you need to be very careful, monitoring it all the time until you have the perfect caramel. So just take it off the stove and then make sure it's not going to burn, but just watch out for the sugar. It might tend to melt on the sides. Now you can see the color started to change and the sugar is also melting. The caramel is forming now, but there is a little bit of sugar that is still not melted. So I want the sugar to melt as the caramel is also trying to be there. So I am going to go down on flame. I am giving the sugar time to melt when the caramel will also form. And now the caramel is done. The sugar is also melted, and I like the color of my caramel. And you don't want to let it burn furthermore, because it's going to start getting bitter, and that's a nice color for the caramel. So on top of this, I want to add my cream first, and then it is going to bubble up. You quickly want to whisk that. On top of that, I am going to add my butter and continue to whisk. You don't want to do that on the fire. My stove is switched off. I'm going to whisk this together until it's combined, and it's okay if it is going to have some harder portions of the caramel, a little bit of crystallization. You can try and beat it up by putting it onto the fire again and then melting it. And as of now, we are only trying to combine the butter, cream and the caramelized sugar. I am finding some crystallized caramel there, but that's fine. I'm going to add the salt. And salt adds all the flavor to the caramel. Without the salt, it's going to be too sweet. And those harder parts I'm just going to retain for my pralines. And I'm happy with the sauce that I have here. I'm just going to transfer the sauce, the liquid part, onto the bowl and let it cool down to complete room temperature. You can transfer this into a glass jar and then refrigerate, and the shelf life is going to be a month or even more. And as and when you need it onto a cake, you can just directly take it from the fridge and then use. And in case it's too thick when it is out of the fridge directly, you can also microwave it for about 10 to 20 second bursts and then use it onto the cake. You only have to make sure it shouldn't be too hot while you're mixing it with any of the other cream. We'll get back and then start making the